Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I want to speak to you guys about something I've been doing, well, I've been putting off doing. Yeah, that's the truth. I kind of just feel like, what's the point if I don't know how to answer? So today I'm going to be taking you guys along with me to fill out my form for my autistic assessment. So some of these questions I have found to be really kind of like, they just don't make sense and they don't kind of fit. They don't go into too much detail. It's just very bleak and like black and white. There isn't any like, you know, they don't talk about the hidden traits of autism, or like they don't think about people who actually have ADHD and autism, because some of my autistic traits are kind of like mixed in with my ADHD. But yeah, I'm gonna try and figure out what and how I should answer, and I'm going to kind of go through the questions with you so you guys can kind of know how to answer it, or like I don't even know, but I know I wanted to take you guys on this with me. Before we start, if you guys could smash me a big thumbs up down below and subscribe to my YouTube channel, I will forever be grateful. So let's get on to the video. So I was diagnosed with ADHD back in 2019, September the 5th to be precise. I was diagnosed with the severe type of combined ADHD, which is, I don't just have the inattentive type or the hyperactivity type, I have all of them kind of combined into one. So whilst I was being diagnosed, it was also picked up that I also have a lot of autistic traits, and I did meet the autistic kind of criteria. So I was asked to maybe pay private for an autistic assessment like separately, but the thing is, I can't afford that. I had to pay private for my ADHD, which is actually £1,000. But the autistic one is a lot more money because it's a lot more in depth. It takes a lot longer as well. I can't afford to go private, but I do know by doing like a private assessment type of thing to see if I was able to be put forward for an autistic assessment, and I am. I think she said I was not like severely autistic, but I definitely had like a high amount of autistic traits. My doctor that I was with privately passed me back over to the NHS, and the NHS kind of took their time, you know, it took a time. And then they put me on the autistic assessment waiting list, and where I'm from in Hampshire, there is only one place that is the Surrey and Borders kind of clinic that do it, and there's only one, and there's only like 4 or 5 different nurses and doctors that actually work for the whole of Hampshire. And you know what I mean, that there's not a lot of help and it takes quite a lot of time. So again, I reached out recently, very recently, to my GP, and basically I've got to start all over again because, well, I don't know, apparently I've been on the waiting list too long, blah 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 blah. And again, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. So he then said, come down to the surgery, Molly, come here, come pick up a piece of paper. And I thought, okay. He said, now fill out the form, tick what boxes apply to you on a scale of 1 to 5 or something like that, and I will judge it. I will score it, and if I think that you score high enough, I will put you forward for an assessment, which could take up to 2 years. So basically I'm now starting again from the very beginning with a GP who just doesn't understand. He basically said to me, why do I want an autistic assessment? And I explained, and he said, why does it matter? What? But anyway, I've looked at these questions, and to me, they're very bleak. They don't make sense. They're just very like one-sided, and it's either you do or you don't. But actually, how about if you do but you kind of don't, and then like vice versa, you know? Like, I'm going to read you these questions. I'm also going to score them for me, as in like what I would say I am on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm going to read you guys the instructions, then we're going to tell you kind of like, do I do it or not? And then yeah, we'll just see where this video takes us, because yeah, let's just go with the questions. So I think, you know, I totally understand, you know, the NHS is really like running their self kind of silly at the moment with COVID, and you know, I'm not getting at that. I've been on the waiting list way before COVID. You know, I had to go pay private because I was on the NHS for my ADHD for 2.5 years. So I kind of think I have the right to be moaning right now, because I've been waiting, you know, near enough like, what, 4 years now to try and get help. And I had to pay out of my own pocket. I pay taxes, my parents pay taxes, we pay, you know, for the NHS, yet we can never get seen by a doctor or get seen like by a specialist. Everyone is just not really bothered by ADHD or autism. So yeah, like I say, here's the questions. I'm gonna read them. I have read them before, obviously, but I'm gonna read you guys them and kind of just see how silly they actually sound. I will in a minute be filling them out, and I'll be able to kind of like zoom in and show you the questions. But let me just kind of read you some of the questions because they're super silly. And you know, a quick thing, when I was diagnosed with my ADHD, the whole assessment thing, we had about 10 or 11 different sheets of paper we had to fill out, and there was questionnaires for not only me but my sibling and my parents. They had to also fill it out so that it wasn't a biased thing, like not just me saying yeah I do that and I actually don't. My parents also had to do it from when I was growing up, and my sister had to do it on kind of like, well, do you think your sister has trouble doing this? You know, they had to have their like opinion too, and like their side of the story, because you know, it's not just me that sees these traits. Some things that I do I might just find normal and like kind of like, well, I do that every day, so what's the problem? But obviously some of it does cause issues in relationships and family, and I think it's really positive to get other people's kind of side views, because it really helps pinpoint what the issues are. But with this autism one, there is 10 questions. 10. There is 10 questions. So there was about 15-20 questions on the ADHD one, and you had about 11 to like 12 different pages. So to me, autistic ones are meant to be really thorough and kind of like go into more depth, but the ADHD at this point, it's kind of feeling like the ADHD one is very detailed compared to this. But I don't know. So here we go. I'm going to read you a couple of the questions, and just let me know, you guys, if you think they're as silly as I do. So in order to fill this form out, obviously there are 4 boxes alongside the question. So there's the question and there's the boxes there. So, you know, I'm gonna just read these out because I can't read them because on the screen it's flipped. So I'm just gonna read them and kind of just tell you what I think I am. So yeah, the first question is, I often notice small sounds when others don't. So it's either definitely agree, slightly disagree, definitely disagree. For me, I notice the smallest sound, like people breathing, is like as if like someone's going like that in my ear, when actually all they're doing is just breathing like a normal human being. And when we go out, like in a shop, like the minutest sound of like an alarm, or like even in the very distant, I can hear like a high pitch like car brake. Other people don't even like pay attention or even like hear it, and I'm like, oh. So yeah, for me, it's definitely, I definitely agree that I hear sounds very loudly and like when other people don't. So here is something that, this is the question as well, that I find very conflicting. Like, do you answer it like that or do you not answer it like that? So basically the question is, I usually concentrate more on the whole picture rather than the small details. I also have ADHD, right? So at the moment, my ADHD is under control, medicated the whole day. So at the moment my ADHD is under control, but my autistic traits are now starting to come up, right? And I have noticed that I am one of those people that, you know, if I want to start a task, I have to kind of know what I need, you know, how many pens will I need? Like, am I going to write 5 things, 10 things? How many different subjects am I going to be writing? Like writing a book at the moment, a children's book. I've got 5 or 6 different visual kind of big boards that I got in Hobbycraft, because I have to visually see and I have to work out like how many like characters. I have to, like the small details kind of are very important to me. I like to build up to the big kind of project. But again, this is where I'm conflicted. My ADHD, if I'm not medicated, I am impulsive. I jump from like one thing to the other thing, and little details, they go well out the window. So to me, it's really like, what's actually wrong? Like, what do I write? Am I yes, no, maybe, kind of like, because it does happen and then it doesn't happen depending on, kind of like medication. Like, where do you put that? They don't give you any room to explain. Like, what? So for question 3, it says, I find it easy to do more than one thing at a time. Okay, again, it's very conflicting. With my ADHD, like I say, I'm super impulsive, so I will jump from one thing to the other thing to the other thing. Like, it's easy for me to do that. But when I'm medicated, my ADHD is under control. I don't like jumping from one thing to the other thing. I get stressed. I like to kind of finish a project because I can feel the pressure. So do you say yes? Do you say no? I don't know. So again, for this one, I haven't answered because I just don't know. So the next one is, if there is an interruption, can you switch back to what you were doing very quickly? So I'm usually the interruption. I'm usually the one, you know, that gets bored with people's conversations, and I kind of start talking and doing my own conversation over other people, and then I'm just like, I'll walk off because they're boring me shitless, and I'm just like, I don't want to listen to that. So again, it's super difficult because if people interrupt me, I get really angry, and I'm just like, let me bloody speak. Let me finish what I'm saying. And then I'm just like, actually, I can't even be bothered anymore. Like, I get so angry, I'm like, I'm not going to finish this. I don't even want to go back to what I was saying. So yeah, again, it's really conflicting, but I think the answer to that one is pretty much, no, I can't go back to things quickly because I get too frustrated. So for number 6, it says, I know how to tell if someone listening to me is getting bored. Yes, and I still carry on doing it. I still carry on talking. I do, but I get really paranoid as well. I kind of, I like, if I care about you and I know you and I can really sense that you're kind of being like, are you done yet? You know, I'll be like, sorry, am I boring you? Like, sorry. I'll kind of back off a little bit, so I can tell. But then again, everyone with autism, I don't understand because these are really like stereotyped questions. But anyway, I probably will say for me, you know, if there's bored listening, I'd probably say slightly agree. I slightly agree because yeah, so I'd say slightly agree, maybe disagree, slightly disagree. I don't know yet, but you'll see me fill it out in a minute. So yeah, I'll decide then. The next question is, I find it easy to read between the lines when someone is speaking to me. No, I don't find it easy. Sometimes I'm like, are you telling me the truth? Or like, are you asking me? Do I speak now? Like, are you asking me a question? Am I meant to talk? Like, I kind of get a little bit like, what am I meant to be doing here? Like, am I meant to be answering you? Like, I just don't know. So that one I strongly agree with. Like, hang on, is that agree? I find it easy. So no, I totally disagree with that one. I do not find it easy. So that one will be definitely disagree. So the next one is, when I'm reading a story, I find it difficult to work out the character's intentions. So I'm gonna be completely honest with you, right? But I've never read a book. I don't read books. I can't read because of my ADHD. I can't concentrate. It doesn't like, and I can't watch films either. So I don't know. I just don't know. But what I will tell you, if I watch like Netflix or YouTube and I sense someone's gonna like get upset, get hurt, you know, I get very, like, I have to kind of get up or pause or skip or just completely turn off the program. I get too emotionally like involved, and I start to, no, I can't watch this, and then I'll like literally procrastinate watching it, and I'll probably never ever finish the episode. That's the thing, like, it's meant to happen. It's meant to like draw you in. It don't draw me in. It don't draw me in. It draws me out. I'm like out of that room and I'm like switching off completely. I can't watch it. So yeah, I can't watch TV a lot either. I just get too emotionally involved. I'm an empath. Is it an empath? I feel everything. Like, I feel everything. Every emotion is just, oh, I can't deal with it. I just have to get up, walk out like this, look. So yeah, I just get too emotionally involved. So it might be me getting a bit too involved with these questions and kind of thinking too like in depth with it. But for a story, no, I like working out the intentions. Maybe if I put that into a film or like series, maybe. Do you find it difficult to work? No, I just get very stressed because I feel like something's going to happen, and it usually doesn't happen, but I make scenarios up in my head. So again, I don't know what I'm going to put for that question, but you'll see in a minute. So, for the next question, it says, ready? I like to collect information about categories of things. For example, cars, types of birds, types of trains, types of transport, types of plants. Okay, well, let me just get into this right. That's me. But it's not about like well, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty obsessed with cars. So I become obsessed of like all different things and become very like fixated on different type of things, and I like collecting in like research on all different things. So I kind of guess it's definitely a yes for me. So the next one is, I find it easy to work out what someone is thinking or feeling just by looking at their face. Nope. Definitely a no from me. That's one of my biggest issues, is understanding people's kind of intentions, interactions, emotions, kind of, yeah, that's definitely a no from me. So again, the next one says, I find it difficult to work out people's intentions. I guess that's just the same as the question above, really. Definitely no, I don't find it easy. No, I do not find it easy. Yeah, no, that's definitely a no from me. So basically, I just want people, doctors, teachers, friends, family, like whoever, I want them to know that just because someone with autism may not, you know, show the most obvious or most like popular spoken about traits, doesn't mean they don't have autism. It's a spectrum. There are so many different complexities, traits, things that happen differently to different people. So even those questions I've just read out to you, it kind of proves my point. People are still fixated on only like the most kind of popular, I'm saying popular, but like most spoken and most well-known traits of ADHD, but also like autism as well. People are still very fixated on that, and when it comes to like these forms, they're very vague. They only, you know, trains, planes, can you do you like numbers? How about some people really like, and they have different specific interests that isn't a plane, train, plants, cars, transport, but that isn't even spoken about. It's very vague and like black and white. Do you like this? If not, then it can't be autism. Like, I just want to put it out there that not everyone's gonna be the same. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I just kind of wanted to speak through the paper with you that I'm trying to fill out. So now I'm gonna be filling out this questionnaire. So it says, I often notice small sounds when other people do not. I definitely agree, so I'm gonna, yeah, that's just totally me. I usually concentrate more on the whole picture rather than the small details. Nope, that's not me. I find it easy to do more than one thing at once. No, I don't. I'm gonna say slightly. If there is an interruption, I can switch back. No. I find it easy to read between the lines when someone is talking to me. Nope. Know how to tell if someone listening to me is getting bored. I'm gonna write a little note just here and say, I get paranoid. When I'm reading a story, I find it difficult to work out characters' intentions. Yeah, I agree with that one. I wrote another note just saying I can't read books. I like to collect information about categories. I do, yes. Okay. I find it easy to work out what someone is thinking or feeling. Nope. I find it difficult to work out people's emotion. Yeah, that's mine. So there we go. I filled it out. That's my answers. That's what I've decided. That's 100% my, that's how I feel. So that's all I can do. So I'm just gonna leave you be now. I don't want to bore you guys too much, but thank you so much for watching, and I really, really, really hope that you have a great weekend. Well, just be you. You are good enough. Never change, because you being you is enough. So I'll see you next time. Bye.